Hello, hello. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you? It is Sunday morning. It is October the 30th. I'm first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather, hopefully getting your day started off on the right note. It is Sunday morning, October 30th. Rise and shine. Rise and shine, my friends. It is a lovely start to the day. Of course, this is not going to go very well, is it? Because my bandwidth is terrible. Ah, boy. Every now and then, you get decent internet in a hotel. Every now and then, you don't. So we'll do our best to try and get through Coffee Talk today. My apologies if the signal isn't perfect. I'm just doing the best I can. Here is a look outside, shall we? This is a shot in downtown Orlando. It is a bit fogged in, wouldn't you say? Yeah, there's a lot of cloud cover around, a lot of low cloudiness. We were tracking this yesterday morning. It was definitely a concern for us yesterday. Didn't really come to as much of a fruition as it has today. Now, I do want to point out that out of every location around Central Florida, we're not watching but kind of little pockets of this thicker fog. So let's do this. Let's take a look and let's see how we're doing across Central Florida this morning. Downtown Orlando, visibility down to 3/4 of a mile. You can see DeLand visibility sitting at about 2 miles, at about a half mile, 1 mile visibility in Palm Coast. So we are definitely sitting in some foggier territory, just like what we were seeing yesterday, except we've kind of taken it that next step. So good times. Good morning to you. Carolyn, good morning. How are you? Michelle, good morning. Chris, how are you? John, Annie, good morning. Good morning. Frank, good morning to you. Deborah, Josette, good morning. Here's to you, Cheryl. Good morning. It is Sunday. Like that spooky fog, don't you? Yeah, it's not a bad one at all. It's a lovely start. So, good morning to you, Liz. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, so we've got a little bit of the fog to deal with. Let's come over and switch gears from the fog, which is definitely playing out, back to the Tower Cam network. And let's just look at some of our other shots. So, that's downtown Orlando. Let's head over to the Kennedy Space Center where it is completely clear, right? Yeah. Ooh, Winter Park. This is our West 2 studios. Definitely a little foggy there. Melbourne, sun is shining bright. Cocoa looking good. Downtown Orlando, another camera shot. I'm just going down the router. I probably should have done this in geographical order. Kind of a neat shot here, though. That's New Smyrna Beach. Looking back over toward the Ponce Inlet, where, yeah, you can kind of see that, or lack of seeing that thick fog. Over to Tavares. Not too bad. It's a low cloud deck in Tavares. And then Ocala's down. That's okay. All right. Had a couple of showers yesterday. Take a look at our first warning live Doppler radar right now, watching a few showers as well. Let me take you into Brevard County where we're watching that rainfall coming on through. Nothing too strong, certainly, though. Something that could impact you if you live in that area. Coming in around Scottsmore to work over toward Geneva, Chuliota, even a few light showers around Titusville. So we do have a little bit of rainfall to deal with. We certainly have the fog. There's a lot of moisture in the area. So one would notice without a meteorological degree that the humidity has started to come back in earnest, right? 80 degrees, 11 o'clock, 83 degrees, our 1 o'clock temperature. It's 86 this afternoon, and we do have a few showers hit or miss. It's nothing too bad, but there are showers around. So just something to keep in mind, all right? How we doing? Is the connection as bad as it's showing on my side? I apologize. I'm doing the best I can. My phone says it's got a good connection, so I'm going to try and put it in another spot and get a better signal. I apologize. I have 3 bars. It's frustrating. Frustrating when that signal isn't perfect. Steph says, good morning, wondering how the clouds will be for the air show. Well, the good news, Steph, is that the clouds should be lightening up for the air show. Let me move my phone. Let me do this. Bear with me. Maybe that's a better signal. Just trying to find a better signal. It looks like it's a better signal. All right. Yeah, the clouds should lighten up. So even though we've got this kind of foggy setup this morning, we should be able to get those clouds lifting, lifting, lifting through the day. So at least there's that, right? Light rainbow, Danielle says. Good morning to you. Good morning. How are you? Not going to rain for the parks today, Mark says. Well, there's going to be a few showers, Mark. There's definitely going to be a few showers around. Janice is asking why I'm in a hotel. So had a great time yesterday. I was announcing over at the Tarpon Springs Outdoor Music Festival. It's an event that I've done for well over a decade. So I was doing that yesterday, and so my plan today is to do coffee talk, hang out with you all, and get the heck back over to Orlando. So yeah, had a great time announcing. Had some great bands, including bands from Central Florida. But there was one fly in the ointment. Right at the end of the event last night, a downpour moved over Tarpon Springs High School. It's like, come on, man, really? That's what we're going to do? Really? So we were able to get all the competing bands on the field, which is great. But Tarpon Springs High School, who hosted the event, was only able to perform like their first movement, and then it started pouring, and so we didn't get a chance to finish their show, didn't get a chance to do a full retreat, which is so great. So anyway, it ended up that the weather got the best of us at night, but through the day the weather was lovely. So I was frustrated about that, but here we are hanging out, and as they say, the sun will come out tomorrow, right? All right, it's good on you. I think we got a leveled signal here. By moving it, I think we're good. Okay, good. All right. Liz is asking, when is the cold weather coming back? I default Liz, right? Like, if only we could get that going. So let's look at the overall perspective on what's going on weather-wise, because the reality is we don't really have the opportunity to get any cool air coming in anytime, at least in the near term. So let's look. So here we are, nice warm air mass over top of Central Florida. There's our next cold front. Like, hi, how are you? Florida's open for you. And then the cold front's like, nah, we're not going to do it. What's funny is that cold front showed up on the BSR. We knew that front was there, timed out perfectly, but of course, it's not wanting to move in. So we're just kind of sitting in this warm air mass these next couple of days. There's nothing that's going to come in and encroach. So because of it, we're just warm. Take a look at Central Florida's certified most accurate 7-day forecast, and what we'll see here is essentially more of the same, more of the same, more of the same. Yeah, temperatures hanging in the upper range of the 80s, morning lows 60s and 70s. I will point out, and we'll get into some more of the in-depth elements here, right? But like, I will point out that for trick-or-treating plans, we actually look to be good. Okay, for trick-or-treating, we're fine with temperatures falling through the 70s, but obviously we've got, warm days ahead. All right, come to Long Island, 36 degrees this morning. That's not really where I'd like to be. I'm very okay with the Florida temperatures, although I would like fall to introduce itself, but that's just me. That's just me. That's just me. I love and sweating. It's my favorite pastime. That's how you know that you're a Central Floridian, right? That's how you know. Yeah. All right. Hey, my brother's in the room. Frankie, good morning to you, buddy. Good morning, Mr. Frank. If I had a bunch of winter tops, we would be having cold fronts. I jinxed us. Well, there's that. Wow, so the internet is just terrible here. I'm going to try. All right. I moved it again. It's a matter of finding that sweet spot. Listen, we're coming to you live via cell phone, so, we're doing the best we can with it. John, good morning to you. Good morning. It always would rain on Halloween in Michigan. Well, yeah, but you're getting those cold fronts moving through. That's, it's kind of the way that goes. right? It's the time of year where you get those storm systems moving in. For today, by the way, if you're heading out to the Orlando Air and Space Show, looking good. Thunderbirds performing again at 2:30. What a show they put on, right? Mid 80s, isolated shower here or there, not too bad, right? Halloween trick-or-treaters, you're talking about sweating. I don't really think that that's going to be an issue for us this year. Those temperatures are warm, but I feel like when and again, I could go look this up. Like what? So 95. So like, let me look at Halloween '97 and Halloween '98. I just need to know. I'm gonna do this real fast. It doesn't even matter. I feel like in years past it has been in the like mid '80s for trick or treaters. So at least this doesn't look terrible, right? At least this doesn't look terrible. A stray shower or so. Otherwise, we're going to be dry. Temperatures falling from the lower 80s to the upper 70s for trick-or-treaters. It does look like it's going to be a fantastic setup. Where's my Starlink? Listen, I'm in a hotel room, so I'm not even their Wi-Fi. Would you believe me if I told you the Wi-Fi for the hotel was worse than my cell phone? Which is why I'm on my cell phone's connection today. You know? But I think I found a good spot. We'll see. At the end of the day, we'll see. It's as consistent as a toddler's attitude. You know how that is. Okay. All right. So let us look ahead and see what's doing, right? For your Sunday, for your Monday, you see those temperatures getting warmer. Tomorrow's high, 88 degrees. Now, are we talking about records for tomorrow? I mean, 88's a toasty day. Let me just go in here and eyeball, because I didn't work this morning, and it doesn't look like Kellyanne got record data, and I'm just curious. I mean, 88, that's a toasty day. For the 31st, ThreadX Orlando. All right, for tomorrow, the records for Orlando. Okay. For perspective here, high temperature tomorrow, forecasting 88 degrees. The record is 91 in Orlando. So we're close-ish, right? We're going to be close-ish. The record, by the way, was set back in 1991 in Orlando. So we're going to be close-ish to that. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see, you know? Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. It is what it is. We're happy to have you. Thank you, Annie, my dear. I appreciate it. Look, yeah, it is what it is. Maybe on these days I drop the resolution or something. I don't know. I have to figure out like a good process for Coffee Talk on the road. Usually it's pretty okay, and I think we're okay now. Anne's asking, are you excited to meet Al on Tuesday? I know I am. Oh my God, I am. I'm so excited. Like, no judgment, but yeah, super, super, super hyped. Al is somebody, you know, and several people in this room have talked about doing bariatric surgery. And several people have said that I was somebody who kind of helped them through the decision-making process. And I do not take that lightly, because I know what Al was for me, and Al was that person for me. Al was the person that, you know, when I was looking at having my bariatric surgery and I was doing all of my research and learning and all this, it was Al who wrote a book about it that really kind of helped me into that decision-making process. And so I am so excited to meet him and to chat with him. And look, you know, at the end of the day, for anybody who's met a quote-unquote celebrity, maybe when you meet him, you say to yourself, like, or her, what am I going to say, right? I remember, like, sidebar, I'm a huge Dave Matthews fan. His music is, I'm not going to fanboy here, but, like, you get it, right? And I just remember when I met the guy, just by happenstance, I froze. What do you say to somebody right? Like, seriously. Because you don't want to be that schmuck who's like, I love your music. Well, of course you do. That's why you're there at the concert. You know, he knows that. I guess, and then maybe that's just the way like my brain works. I wanted to say something meaningful, but you realize, like for me, I don't want to be that person who just throws out the stereotypical statement, you know? I like your music. So like Al, what am I going to say? So like I like your forecasting. Well, I'm a meteorologist. I mean, you know, but for Al, there's more to me. There's more to talk about. Like when I grew up here in Central Florida, I used to watch his wife anchor, but I'm not going to say that. I think that I really look forward to saying, you know, Al, your book talking about the parallels of your life and my life were almost eerie. And I don't know, I'm sure that he's been told all over the world, or at least all over the country, Al, you've had an impact on my life because you made me want to be a weather guy, made me want to be a this, you know. But for me, like, I'm a weather guy / bariatric surgery patient. And his book spoke to me. You know, he talked about like how his career had been impacted by his weight. I have been, you know, he came out and said, I have missed opportunities because of my weight. And he went so far as to say, I don't know how I got on the Today Show because of my weight. And here I am, I'm sitting back and I'm like, whoa. Like, I remember getting the job at WESH thinking, wow, they just hired me, even with my weight. You know, and TV, it's the lowest level of show business. Like, it's not show business. We do TV, though, right? But, like, visualization is important. And I'm sure that my weight has played in, you know? So it's yeah. Evelyn's asking, is it going to air on TV? Evelyn, I will say, I'm interviewing Al during WESH 2 News Sunrise on Tuesday. And then I'm going to be walking with Al during the Today Show. So there's going to be kind of, it's like an onion. We're just peeling back layers. Tell Al he's an inspiration for your career and your weight loss journey. Oh, for sure. Yukon says, when I meet different people, I'm always saying stupid things. I'm an introvert and have huge problems socially. You know, that's what's so funny. Yeah. My brother says, dude, I just watched, or I used to watch your wife. Yeah, Al will take very kindly to that. His wife's on network TV now, so I mean, everybody can at this point. And he says Al's probably watching now. If he is, then he knows, and it's gonna be, you know. And then there's all he can do is laugh at me at that point, which it's fine. Yeah. Cite a specific example of how his book impacted you and thank him for that. Well, that's Jay, that's absolutely the game plan. Yeah, that's absolutely what I'm going to do. Yeah. Sherry says, just talk to them like any other person. They sneeze just like everyone else. Oh, yeah. Well, and that's what's cool is working in TV, I've had the opportunity to meet enough people that's the right way. That's the right, Sherry, that's the right way to do it, you know? That's the right way to do it. Talk to them like normal people. You can still say that they've helped you or impacted you, but talk to them like normal people. Like for me, I was just overwhelmed with Dave Matthews. I literally froze. Have you ever done that? Have you ever done that, anybody? Have you ever froze? And if you froze, who was it with? You know? Victoria says his wife is awesome, and he seems so nice and down to earth. You know, he's got to be one of the busiest people on the planet, though, and he's not like a 20-something-year-old. Like his workload is impressive, intimidating, and he's still just hammering away at everything. Bring a picture before to show him as you talk about the impact. Yeah, yeah. Oh, we're getting pictures taken too. You better believe it. Mercy says, but I work Tuesday from before sunrise. I'm going to miss your meeting with Al Roker. I worked a few years recovering I worked a few years recovering gastric bypass patients in a private surgery center, and I heard so many stories, seen so many years of fear and happiness. It was like watching butterflies emerge from their cocoons. Mercy, I feel that way. I feel that way. I will post all the video. All the video. I will post it. Kelly says, I don't talk to you like a normal person, but everybody has a charm, Kelly. Tamara says, I'm an introvert too. I would have real trouble even talking to Eric. The struggle is real. Tamara, you come up. If you see me, you come up and talk to me and say, I'm Tamara. We talk on Coffee Talk, and we can have a conversation. No, do not have trouble talking to me. I am no Al Roker, people, okay? I'm just a kid that grew up in Central Florida and gets to do his dream job and hang out with you all in the morning. That's not too bad. It sure beats working, I'll tell you that much. Just don't burp your greeting. Trust me, it doesn't depress. Yeah, well, there's that. Talk to him just like you talk to us. Be like, well, thank you. Thank you. Nikki says Dave Matthews is great. I can't blame you. I froze. Victoria says, I froze when I met with Sig from Deadliest Catch. That's too funny. Audra, oh my gosh. Yes, I froze meeting Martin Sheen. I was just shocked. He was there in front of me. I mean, I would be too. Oh my, like, right? I would, for Martin Sheen, I would freeze too, I feel like. I totally would. That's Martin Sheen. Look at his, but it's like at the end of the day, he was just doing a job, you know? At the end of the day, like, I'd be like, Mr. President, what's next? And he'd look at me and be like, right? Rebecca says, I completely froze when I saw Johnny Mathis in person. He impacted my life from the time I was 13 years old with his music, and I couldn't stop crying. Yeah. Janice says, Eric is easy to talk to. Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. Carolyn met Jake. Who's that? Who did you meet, Carolyn? Julie says, you're our Al Roker. Be still my heart, Julie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Patty says, everyone puts their pants on one leg at a time. Just be yourself. You're right. You're right, you're right. Susie says your humility is one of the things I like about. Well, thank you. But like at the end of the day, like why? Look, I am no Al Roker. If I ever get to Al Roker, then you can make that comment to me. But for now, let me tell you something. I have worked with. Let me make sure nobody's around from television. I have worked with people who have had egos in local television. Okay, and you know what I remind them? It's local television. You're not a celebrity. You know, true story. I've been friends with Lester Holt's son for years and years and years and years and years. I adore Stefan. Got the chance on several occasions to hang out with Dad and with Mom and the whole family. Amazing family. Like, that's Lester Holt, right? And they're all so amazing. And there was one person, okay, true story. I won't say who. This person does no longer work at WESH 2. But there was one person who was a complete, and they were acting like a complete to me. And, you know, I looked at him and I said, you know, out of everybody I've met in television, there's really only one person that I think has the job that would allow them to act like a, and they didn't. So you really shouldn't. Now I'm paraphrasing, but you get the idea. If Lester Holt is a kind, sweet guy, and his wife and his son, if they are truly the kindest people you'll ever meet, and that's the main anchor for NBC Nightly News, then I don't care who you are, but you don't get to be a. Also, this is local news, so you know. I appreciate Susie you saying, but there's no. If you're anything but, then there's a real problem. Kelly says, I didn't freeze meeting Michael Jordan in an elevator during my cousin's wedding. What? My 9-year-old self got an autograph on a napkin, and that was. I love that, Kelly. I love that. Audra says, I was 17 when I met him on West Wing. You can hear my band in the background during his re-election episode. Oh my God, really? On West Wing of all things? Come on. Derek says, I froze when I met Josh Groban. Oh, that's too funny. Oh, okay, Carolyn, forgive me. I didn't know. Gina says, you're the Al Roker of Florida. Well, I will take that compliment. I will take that compliment. Thank you. Kelly says, ooh, your Savage is coming out on a Sunday. It came out on a Saturday, too, Kelly. All I have to do is check my Twitter feed. Kelly, I know your feelings on the UCF game. I tweeted yesterday all of the talking heads on ESPN Game Day wanted Cincinnati to win, and they voted for Cincinnati. And so I retweeted the image and said, oh, forecasting's hard. Pew, pew. Oh, man, oh, man. Let's see. But did you eat your cake with Lester? I did. Well, you're an intern over there. I mean, I had dinner. I think I had dessert. I stayed in his house. Your openness will help others going through the same problem. Well, thank you, Becky. Betty. That's my goal. I want to help anybody. That's kind of what I've loved. What I've loved about doing the weather is the opportunity to help people through the bigger, more terrifying weather events, and then the surgery thing has kind of helped me as well, That's kind of where I'm at. I've kind of loved that. You're being feisty this morning. Hey, listen, it's because I slept in until 7:30. I went right to the shower, hung out here at Coffee Talk. I'm like, now I'm ready to go. I slept in later today than I ever do. It's very rare that I sleep in past 5 a.m., even on my off days. Patty, if I have a choice between meeting with Al or you for a chat, I would pick you any day. Oh, Patty, my dear, thank you. Let's do it, baby. Lester Holt is the hardest working guy in broadcast news. Yeah. Bruce said, oh, Bruce, you're so funny. Bruce, I was starstruck when I met you at Aldi for the first time. After that, you were just a neighbor. That's it, buddy. By the way, Bruce, I saw a car. It was a red SUV. And you know how, like, on the back, there's people that have those tags on the back that have, like, their family with their kids? This one had a Santa Claus, a Mrs. Claus, and reindeer. And my wife, literally, my wife and I were driving, and Jeannie's like, is that Bruce? And I couldn't get caught up to see. Bruce, do you drive a red SUV? Because if so, that was so perfect. I was like, if it's not Bruce, it's gotta be somebody else, right? I don't know. I was like, but we were talking about you the other day. I meant to Facebook message you, Bruce, and ask. And then Jeannie says, must be nice to sleep in. Yeah, but I mean, I was awake later than you were, Jeannie. Good morning. I knew as soon as I made that comment, I was going to get thrown over. And I got to see my brother Frank last night. That's right. You truly were my inspiration for starting my bariatric journey, Tina says. Thank you. Finishing up all the preoperative classes and such. Thank you, Tina. Listen, at this point, it's going to be a process. And at this point, it's not cheating. It is a difficult process. But I can tell you, having gone through all of that, holy cannoli, is it worth it. Tina, it is the best thing I've ever done for myself. It is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I'm excited. I'm excited to follow your journey, Tina. Sasha says, please know if I ever see you around town, I will totally fangirl over you. Oh, gosh. Come up and say hello. Don't fangirl. Jeez Louise. Oh, man. See you, Frankie. All right. Anybody have any weather questions? We're just yantering it on. It's too fun. I'm very excited. Somebody was asking about the rocket launch. So Monday is out for the rocket launch. Right now, from what I've heard, they're still targeting Tuesday. But as of yesterday, Falcon Heavy was still in the vertical position with no payload. And late last night, they brought it back down, and they had to bring it back in essentially to the hangar to put the payload on and bring it back out. So there is some discussion if Tuesday is still in the cards. I don't know the answer to that. I've not heard anything to that effect. But when the Space Force when the Space Force meteorologists put out their forecast, they issue kind of an overall view of it, okay? And so when they make their forecast for this one, they put out launch day, 24-hour delay, 48-hour delay. So there's 3 opportunities. So at the moment at least, I can tell you the weather is looking fantastic for Tuesday. The weather's looking fantastic for Wednesday. And if need be, the weather's looking fantastic for Thursday. So, like I said, I don't know if there's any kind of delay because it sat there without its payload for so long. But right now, the latest that I've heard is Tuesday, which, if you're asking me personally, I would rather it not go up Tuesday because I can't go to that launch. I'd much prefer personally a Wednesday launch. But certainly I do not control Elon Musk's SpaceX program. I do not control the United States Space Force. So I would personally love a Wednesday launch. That's just me. That's just me. All right. Let's see here. Have you seen the awesome pictures from Arizona of the Falcon Heavy ride? No, Karen, I haven't. If I ever ran to in public, I'd probably squeal and give you a giant hug and scare the crap out of you. Once I got my heart to calm down, that I wasn't being like, knifed to death or something, then it'd be fun. We'd have a good time. Brian, another rocket goes up Wednesday. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Janice is asking, what is the payload? What is a payload? A payload is, so the Falcon Heavy that's scheduled to go up Tuesday is an unmanned rocket. The payload is like what it's taking to space. So in this case, it is 2 United States Space Force satellites. What are they doing? They're doing some things up there. I don't know. They're doing some spy stuff up there. So anyway, it wasn't on the rocket. And it's seemingly, from what we've known, that's a little delayed. So who knows? When we hear something, we'll let you know. Yeah. Right? Let's just send vibes for Eric to enjoy Halloween Monday, out Tuesday, and launch Wednesday. I mean, I would like it, Nikki, but that's my personal preference. Like, let's do a launch on Wednesday. But we'll see. Whatever SpaceX wants to do, we'll do. And, of course, Wesh will have full coverage of it. Okay? All right. Elon technically controls you. Oh, that's only a little terrifying, but not wrong. Joanne, I'm 5 days post-op. Oh, did I? 5 days post-op. Yep, you're in the weeds. First month is the toughest. Call me when folks go to the moon. That's when I will get excited about launches again. Oh, you got to get excited about launches. There's so many cool things happening in our Space Coast, man. So many cool things. I mean, I get it, but there's a lot happening. Allison says Big Brother is spying on us. That's what the satellites are for. Yeah, but these are the America ones. Like, the other guys and gals are probably putting up those spy satellites. Don't you want us to have them too? I don't know. Anyway, all right, that's where we're at. Nice warm stretch of weather these next couple of days. My friends, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you on tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for Coffee Talk. I'm not on TV tomorrow, so 8 a.m. for Coffee Talk, and then, yeah, we'll go from there. Sound good? Sound good. Be the sunshine, y'all. See you later. Bye.